I'm here with Lisa Glazebrook. She has had 9 years experience personal fitness training, both in running her own business and working for Anytime Fitness. So let's get her to run through how she has started and worked through those 9 years and where she is now.
Okay. Yeah, I got started into the fitness industry because I was already really active in sports. And so kind of my beginnings was actually with Fitness Kickboxing Canada. I took some training with them and became a trainer for them who trained people how to teach classes. From when I became certified with them, I also became certified with CamFit Pro. And I took some courses in NATE with my anatomy, so I was a little more familiar with anatomy. From there, I worked just teaching classes in the beginning, and then just kind of had a lot of inquiries about training clients. So got more into the one-on-one training. Ended up opening up my own space, which is more of a personal training studio. With the training studio, I don't know how detailed you want me to get in, or do you have more questions that you want to?
No, just I do have questions for you. What inspired you to start your own business?
The reason I wanted to start my own business was because at the time there was a real niche for a private place for people to come. I did a lot of small group personal training and one-on-one training. And a lot of times in a gym setting, people find it very uncomfortable. So I thought in a small group setting I could continue that way and help encourage my clients who are too intimidated to walk into a gym.
How long did it take you to establish yourself? Like how long till you kind of opened your own or started your own business kind of thing?
I trained out of the gym I was teaching classes in for probably about a year. And the only reason I left was it was an all-women's gym and I was starting to get a few male clientele. So it took me a while. I find talking to new trainers, the biggest struggle is the schedule, because a lot of people, when they want to book a personal trainer, they also work during the day. So your schedule is really early mornings and late evenings, and I did that for probably 5 years of like crazy early mornings and really late nights. After time, I was able to get a great clientele. I have a lot of moms, so I work during the day quite a bit, and I'm not away as much in the evenings, but that takes a little while to build yourself
Yeah.
up.
All right. What did you find the best part of running your own business compared to working for someone else?
The best part of running my own business probably would have been, it's been really great working here. They've been really considerate of my schedule and everything. But yeah, the best part of running your own business is being able to use your own schedule and your own advertising and promoting yourself.
All right. And what did you find the most challenging about running your own business compared to this? Like, what's the hardest part?
For myself, when it started to become really challenging and why I left was having other trainers working for me. I found I have a very certain way of working with my clients and doing things. So if I had a client that would see me and then would see another trainer, then I would have complaints, and it was difficult to do the personality match, I guess, with clients and trainers. So it's just easier for me to have my own clients and not have to worry about other trainers.
Right. Along with that, how do you compete with other trainers? Like, how do you get clients to come to you instead of, especially in like this kind of setting?
I really try not to, actually. I think that clientele, based on your personality and your training style. People are gonna flock kind of towards you based on what they've heard or based on your training. And I think if it's not a good match with me, I'd prefer to see a client go see another trainer. And once you establish yourself, you can kind of work as a community with all the trainers in the area and be like, hey, you know what, I know this person is really great at this sport that you're interested in. Why don't I give you their number and you can go see them?
Great. Can you run me through a typical day at the gym? Like, just what you do throughout every day kind of thing?
Typically, my schedule is a little crazy. I live out of town, so for me, I have to try to plan everybody at certain times and manage everything. For you, for example, you had to come in a little bit early because I had a cancellation. So when I have cancellations, I try to move everybody early so I don't have to stay. But typically, for myself, I come in really early, get up about 4:20 in the morning, and I have a quick breakfast and head out. I train some clients early in the morning out of their home because they have young children at home, so while the kids are sleeping, we work out, and then just about the time kids are getting up, I'm off, and then I come here. I have a little bit of break, I do a workout myself, and then I have clients throughout the day. Generally, my days right now are really, really long because I'm only working a couple days a week, so I try to manage everybody in those days. So I could be starting like 6 in the morning and not get home till 9 o'clock at night or something.
Right. Do you notice any peak periods, and when do you find downtime? Like what seasons, kind of thing? You know?
That's a really good question. When I first started training, I was gung ho to go like all the time. So, like I said, I was working early in the morning, late evenings, had a lot of downtime during the day in the beginning. Now my days are full and my evenings and mornings aren't as busy. But what I really found was I tried to keep things running through the summer, and I found clients became very unpredictable, lots of cancellations, or they would just drop off the face of the earth for the summer.
Yeah.
So after a few years of doing that and having a really inconsistent schedule over the summer, I started, after building my clientele, I started to take the summers off. And I never had problems. All my clients come back in September. Once school's in, I have a lot of moms for clients. So when their kids are in school, that's when they come to me. So once their kids are out of school, they can't come for training. They don't have a babysitter. So that's a really slow time I find is summer. And then of course the whole New Year's, it gets really busy. And, yeah.
Okay. For someone who's starting out, what would you suggest? Like starting in like an atmosphere like this in a big gym, or starting your own thing?
Either the big gyms are a little difficult to get started in, just for the simple fact that they take so much more of a percentage of your pay. If you have if it's like in a small community like Drayton Valley, often we have lots of friends and family and word of mouth. So you can build your clientele through that. That's a good way if you can. If you know enough people and you can build up your own clientele, that's a great way to get started. The thing is with some franchise gyms, when you're just starting out as a trainer, if they hire you on, you actually have to sign a waiver saying if you leave them, you can't train anybody in the area. I'm not sure how it works in the cities, but a lot of them will sign you into some kind of a contract so you can't train within a year.
All right.
So be careful with that. For myself, it was a little different because I came here with 9 years experience.
Yeah.
So I already had a clientele, so I didn't have to sign into that contract. But I know gyms have had trainers sign a contract, so be careful with that.
How do you keep up to date on current trends in the fitness industry?
The conferences are really good if you can attend fitness conferences, because you can actually go through the workout or hear the speakers and the lecturers and that kind of stuff. And just being aware, there's a lot of crazy trends in the industry. So just use your mind, use your head when someone approaches you like, oh, I have this new pill and you take it, and or this machine and you do this crazy ab crunches for 30 days and you're gonna have abs. And so you have to really kind of shovel through a lot of goo to get to the good stuff.
Right. And other than conferences that you just mentioned, do you ever participate in new business training or new fitness certifications or anything like that?
The fitness certification that I have right now that I'm maintaining, I do have to get so many continuing education credits a year.
Okay.
So I can take either online courses or attend the conferences in order to receive those credits. So yeah, that's kind of how I continue to maintain my education.
All right. When you first started your own business, how much money did you need to start, and was it difficult to find that money to start?
When I first started on my own, it was because I leased a space, which is right away there's income involved, and I had to buy enough equipment because I did small group training. I started with some kickboxing equipment, dumbbells, mats. So we had very limited equipment. We didn't have the large multi-gyms or anything like that. It was a bit of a cost. To get started, if you're going to do like in-home training and stuff like that. It's very, very low cost. You just have your insurance. My in-home clients, most of them have their home gyms. The ones that don't, I just bring small pieces of equipment like TRX and maybe a couple of dumbbells. So.
Okay. How long did it make you when you started? How long did it take you when you got started to make a profit?
A little while. I'm not too sure 100%. I'm doing better now that I sold the facility, to be honest. A lot of equipment, paying all the other instructors, paying the utility bills and all of that. I'm doing better now that I do train clients outside of Anytime Fitness now. It's in their homes, and that's really great profit. All I have for expense right now is my insurance.
All right. When you were running your own business, did you handle all the legal and financial aspects, or did you hire someone to look after that?
In the beginning, I tried to do my own books and trying to juggle everything. I fell behind, so I ended up hiring accountants and a bookkeeper to look after that end of it. I looked after all my own marketing though, and I did a lot of research on marketing and the marketing now. In the beginning, I actually would write a weekly article for the paper. Was one of the ways I marketed, and then I would do a weekly interview on the radio too, to get going. But to be honest, the feedback that I would get as far as finding clients from that was, the biggest one was word of mouth. Clients saying, "Hey, I have this trainer." That was really how I built myself. And online marketing is the way to go, because you can pick your demographic. You can choose the area that they live, their age, their interests. Like, you can break it right down, as opposed to putting an ad in the paper. You don't know your demographic.
Did you have any unexpected expenses or legal issues that you weren't expecting to?
No real legal issues, no.
All right. So you said you attract clients through word of mouth and social media. Do you find any specific social media to stand out or be the most helpful, I guess?
Probably for me, when I first got into social media, was Facebook advertising. It really worked, and building a page, and a page that people, it's a little more difficult now, Facebook, because they want you to pay for your page to even be seen in people's news feeds, even if they do have liked your page. They might not always see your posts. That was a great way to keep in contact with clients, and like just posting recipes and in little tidbits, little videos, YouTube videos, that kind of stuff is a great way. But yeah, word of mouth is really the biggest, and if you can get a couple of clients that have a really great transformation, offer some kind of transformation package and see if they're willing to give a little write-up about how the process changed their lives and all of that. That's really big if you can do that.
All right. What is your target market? Like, which kind of clients do you target, and who do you train the most?
When I first started training, I really tried to target more athletic clientele. Now my target market is probably early mothers to even retired age women. Women are really more my target market. Men, I do have some men that I do train for sure. Their goals are a little bit different. The women, I really like to work with women now with their body image and everything, because after being in the industry so long, I find that there's a lot of that, and a lot of people pushing, you need to look a certain way, and the scale needs to say that. And I think that more people need to start stepping up in the industry and saying, like, you're beautiful just the way you are, let's get you healthy and let's get you happy. So,
do you find that hard, like convincing them of that? Like, how do you inspire them to view themselves in that way?
I really think that once you start to really focus on the gains in their strength and their athleticism, and really encouraging that, and trying to veer away from the scale as a mode of showing their progress. So doing fitness tests with them, or just like, hey, you know, today you did 3 push-ups in a row as opposed to 2 weeks ago you couldn't even do 8 push-up, and cueing on that and trying to talk to my clients a lot during the sessions. I think that is the best way to start encouraging. I mean, it is really, really hard. A lot of people want to see those 6 packs, abs, and those results, not understanding.
All right. Who do you find is your biggest competition? Like other trainers, who do you find as you're competing with the most?
I wouldn't even say trainers. I would say as a trainer trying to promote fitness and health, and I've talked to a lot of other trainers about this, it's competing with the diet industry. Different diets that are promoted out there that people can go into a store front and they walk out with a bag full of teas and pills and laxatives and whatever else. And it's really hard to compete with that. I have so many people that have come to me that have done these programs, lost a lot of weight and gained it all back and done it again, maybe 2 or 3 different programs, and finally come to me and ask for a workout program. And they get really discouraged because my results are a lot slower and are even slower because of their past diet history. So much slower because of what they've done, and they want these fast results that these diet companies are promoting, and you can't give them to them that way. They just have to eat healthy and exercise.
Have you ever had a mentor, and do you have one now?
Yeah, I've had a few mentors actually. I have, myself as a trainer, I've always felt it really, really important to work with other trainers. So I've went to a trainer in the city when I was first started really into kickboxing. I would go and I'd take one-on-one kickboxing with him. That was very early in my career. Later on in my career, I started working with a trainer for bodybuilding. So when I got into it, this was new for me, right? I'd always done boxing and that. So I worked with the trainer really closely, and I would meet her once a week in Edmonton and work out with her and do the posing with her.
Okay. When you first started, how did you consider the cost of each session? Like, where did you get the amount that you charged from?
I based my costs on just kind of the going rate from just talking with other trainers, what they were charging. There wasn't really much in the industry when I started, but I tried to just stay within a competitive rate. And then slowly over time, I've been able to bring my prices up a little bit.
Which of your service offerings is most popular, or was most popular?
Probably what I do a lot of times with clients right now, and I like to see people eventually, I mean, I have the clients that will always come to me 2 or 3 days a week and never do it on their own. Right now, the most popular is if I have a client I meet with once a week or once every 2 weeks, we go kind of put them through their paces, and then I'll send them home with that workout. They continue that plan for a week or 2, and then I see them again. I think that's a really cost-effective way, and for them to stay accountable to me. So if I only see them once and set them up a program, I don't know if they're going to do it. But if I see them every week, I know, or once every 2 weeks, I know they're going to do it. So.
Right. And do you find that most times they do keep up with it when?
If they're meeting me once a week, usually, yeah. The ones that say I do just a program design for, I won't hear from them for like 6 months, and they'll email me, hey, I didn't do that workout, can you send me another one? I'm like, well, maybe you should just do the one I sent you.
Yeah. Okay, and what are your hours of operation now, and how have they changed? Did you have like set hours, or did it just kind of depend on what your clients want?
When I first started, I kind of just did whoever I could get. So if I had someone who wanted to book at 6 in the morning and then another person wanted to book at 6 at night, I took it, and I just waited it out. Now, I was working Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, of course, because spring's coming and things are slowing down for me, and a little bit with the oil economy is really affected. A lot of clients' hours have been cut back. I'm down to the 2 days a week, and that's a personal choice. I could work more.
But I am working Mondays and Wednesdays, and I like to say I start at 6 and I'm done about 6 o'clock at night. Usually there might be an odd extra client I squeeze in for a program design, so I could be here a little late.
Okay. Do you find it difficult to find time to keep yourself in shape, or does that just come with the job?
I've always been able to work it into my schedule. So if I do have time, like usually here, when I'm here in the mornings, I usually have about an hour. I can do a little bit of cardio. Because I'm only here 2 days a week and I do live out of town, I do have a home gym, and my husband and I like to work out. So we work out as a family. I have a son, so it's kind of a family event. Exercise is a real family thing for us. So we actually work out at home on my other days, and I've always made that #1 priority. So I've been able to do that for sure.
Do you have your own training or discipline yourself? Trainer, sorry. Do you have your own trainer or do you discipline yourself?
I've mostly disciplined myself and played around, but yeah, like I've always felt it important to work with other trainers and go see other trainers in their specialties, and it's been really great for me.
Okay, and that's all I have today. So thank you for
Awesome.
meeting with me.
It's good to